What is going on, you guys? My name is Cody Thixton, and this is Interesting Podcast, coming to you guys on May 11th, 2023 for episode 53, where today we have some more professional wrestling news. Edge reveals how he wants to end his WWE career. Becky Lynch says she doesn't want celebrities in WWE, and the reason why SmackDown stars are competing in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. We're going to break down everything and then discuss it all right here, right now, on Interesting Podcast. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you guys get notified whenever I upload content. Make sure to go and follow me on social media at CodyT503. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And before we get right into this, just remember that on May 21st at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Interesting Podcast is going to be interviewing Playboy Zay Perez. And then also remember that later on this month, May 27th at 2 p.m., Interesting Podcast will be interviewing one half of the Hammer Brothers, the DOA Tag Team Champions, Jack Hammer. Both of these are going to be an awesome podcast that I am so excited to bring to you guys. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys get notified whenever I go live with any upcoming professional wrestlers. It's going to be freaking sweet. Let's get right into this, man. Edge reveals how he wants to end his WWE career. And as always, this is being brought to you guys by the Spotlight News. Edge last competed on Night 2 of WrestleMania 39, where he faced Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell. The Rated R superstar hit a concerto on Balor to win the match. This past Monday, the World Heavyweight Championship tournament began, and Seth Rollins qualified for the finals. Edge is scheduled to face AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio in the first round triple threat match on SmackDown. Today, WWE Hall of Famer Edge posted a video on social media and revealed how much the World Heavyweight Championship means to him. The Rated R superstar stated that he wants to finish his story by winning the World Heavyweight title. He also said that he will retire after losing the title. This is what Edge had to say, and I quote, "Some people have been running around saying they're going to finish their story, and good for them. But it made me think a little bit about my story. The introduction of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If I look at that thing, it even looks like the title I never lost. Looks like big gold. 12 years ago, I was forced to give that thing up. Never had the chance to get it back. Now I have the chance and it all comes full circle. This ride is going to end sooner or later. I got to get this done. It's the last thing to do. It's going to end soon, and I got to get it right this time. There's no way to finish it other than to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and when I lose it, that's it. I'm done." End quote. In 2011, Edge had to relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship due to injuries related to the neck. The Rated R superstar then helped his best friend Christian to win the vacant World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules in May of 2011. Edge was then inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2012. However, Edge was able to return to the squared circle at the 2020 Royal Rumble. See, now this, to me, is not only really interesting, but it's perfect. Because if you also think back to that time when Edge did have to relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship and then retire and walk away for those 8 years that he wasn't able to actually compete in a ring, it is full circle for him because he never did lose it. You know, he had to give it up because of injuries. So that to me would be an amazing thing to see, especially with the legacy that Edge has. For him to be the first title holder for the new World Heavyweight Championship would definitely give it that perfect initial run. And then for him to retire and actually not only lose the World Heavyweight Championship, but also put his career on the line against whomever his opponent is going to be, it's just going to benefit them in the long run as well, because Edge is obviously a Hall of Famer, Everybody freaking loves Edge, and everybody went nuts for him when in the 2020 Royal Rumble when he was actually able to come back. And I remember it was last year, WWE was in Canada, and Edge at the end of the show got on the microphone and was saying about how he wants to end his career in Canada, in Ontario, so that because that's obviously where he's from, so that's going to be his number one spot if he could to have his final retirement match. So it could be insane the amount of possibilities that we could get, where we could get, Edge versus like a Damian Priest or a Finn Balor, or just the amount of superstars that can actually go up against Edge and tell a really intriguing story is just perfect. And that's why I keep reiterating that this storyline is just perfect for the first World Heavyweight Champion to be crowned. Freaking awesome. Becky Lynch says she doesn't want to see celebrities in WWE. WWE brought celebrities to the company in the 80s to get mainstream attention. Some of Hollywood's biggest names are inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as well. However, celebrity involvement in pro wrestling sparks a lot of debate lately. In the past couple of years, Pat McAfee, Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, and Johnny Knoxville competed in the squared circle and put on memorable performances. Most recently, Bad Bunny defeated Damian Priest in the San Juan Street Fight at Backlash, which received huge praise from the management. Becky Lynch recently appeared on Mark Andrews' My Love Letter to Wrestling podcast, where Lynch was asked about celebrities she would like to see in WWE. Becky stated that she doesn't want to see Hollywood stars in WWE. This is what Becky Lynch had to say, and I quote, "No, I want to see wrestlers come in and wrestle. I want to see people that love this, that work for this, that are there working year-round, making the towns, wrestling 4 days a week, and not being home to see their families. Not being able to take vacations because this is a 52-week-a-year gig. I want them to get rewarded. I want them to wrestle at WrestleMania. That's all I want. I don't care about the celebrities. I don't care about you. You don't put your blood, heart, and soul into this business. You don't do what we do. You don't sacrifice." End quote. See, now this is actually very, very true, because it is kind of a slap in the face to all of the superstars that are there on a weekly basis or are constantly training, or like she said, like never being able to be around your family or go and have a vacation because you're constantly on the road and constantly having to do press conferences or go and, shoot for promos and all of that stuff. But celebrities that come in, they don't have to go through that grind on a weekly basis. They can come in, have their moment, have a spotlight, and actually get a main event opportunity. And then they perform, and then they're gone, and we don't see them. And it's like, there comes a point where even us as fans, we don't want to see it, because we know that the opportunity or the spotlight could actually be beneficial on somebody else instead of a YouTuber, or even Johnny Knoxville. Like, that was just for publicity for Jackass, and trying to get people to talk about that. So it is kind of disrespectful, and I can kind of see where Becky Lynch is coming from when she says that they don't go through the grind. And yeah, we want people, especially us hardcore fans, we want wrestlers. You know what I mean? We want intriguing characters, and characters that we can actually attach to because we see them on a weekly basis. We get to see them go from maybe not being so good in the ring, but with time and them constantly working on it, you see them get better and better. And that's what just makes it so cool about being able to attach to these certain characters and being able to see them on a weekly basis, as compared to these just one-stop, shop kind of matches where WWE can get some publicity. So I totally understand where Becky Lynch is coming from. And it's just always gonna be something that we're going to struggle with. We're going to get celebrity involvement, and with that, we're going to have some superstars that are not going to be able to be featured, and that just totally sucks. But I'll keep you guys updated if we get any news on when WWE next plans on having a celebrity compete in a WWE ring. The reason why the SmackDown stars compete in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. This week on Raw, Seth Rollins faced Damian Priest and Shinsuke Nakamura in the first triple threat match. Rollins picked up the victory by hitting a frog splash and a pedigree on Nakamura. In the second triple threat match, Cody faced Finn Balor and The Miz. Brock Lesnar interfered in the match and attacked Rhodes. Balor then hit a coup de grace on the A-lister to win the match. However, Seth Rollins defeated Finn Balor in the main event of Raw to advance to the finals of the tournament. As Triple H said during the Backlash press conference, another 2 triple threat matches will take place on the upcoming SmackDown. AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Sheamus will compete in the tournament on the Blue Brand side. Many fans wondered why SmackDown stars compete for the World Heavyweight Championship. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer noted that WWE and AEW are competing with NBA to save their viewership this week. That's why all the shows have loaded cards. I will tell you, this is what Dave Meltzer had to say, and I quote, "I will tell you, Monday, Friday, and Wednesday, all 3 of those shows were booked with 100% to Hail Mary. We've got to try to save as much as we can. AEW is basically booking a pay-per-view on Wednesday night. They're coming back and putting the Raw World title. If people are wondering why the Raw World title is in a tournament on SmackDown, this is the reason. Because they know a normal show right now will do poor numbers, so they cannot do a normal show this week. AEW knows the same thing. We know what these numbers will end up doing. Wrestling fans are definitely getting benefited greatly by the fact that both of these promotions know that this is a bad week with that Warriors-Lakers series." End quote. See, now this is something I find really interesting whenever we hear about, the NBA coming in and playing a certain match or them having a certain series on, is a lot of people will say that the NBA is going to impact professional wrestling, and to a certain degree, because I also feel like if you are a professional wrestling fan and you actively watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, you're more than likely going to still come and watch Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. And I know a lot of people will say that there's a big chunk of them that won't. And I just don't really feel that. I don't really feel that that would be a correct, okay, I'm screwing up here. I just don't feel like that is a correct thing to say when everybody knows how fandom will work. Like, it doesn't matter, if there's something else going on. If you're going to go out and actively try to watch professional wrestling, you're not going to miss this because of a Warriors and Lakers, especially if, there's probably a lot of wrestling fans out there that really don't care about basketball. Like, I'm not really the biggest basketball person. I just never have been. But I don't know, to just hear that, they do have to at least address that there is that little portion that is not going to come and watch, and they are going to go out and watch the NBA instead of pro wrestling. But just like this guy said, when he said that we are going to be the ones that are benefiting greatly from this, because they know that they can't just do a typical show, because it's not going to draw as big of numbers as they expect. And so it'll be really interesting to see not only what the IWC says when the ratings come out about either Dynamite or Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, especially with everything that's going on with the NBA. And I don't know, man. I just find that really freaking interesting about that actually having to be a factor that they have to really, think about when it comes to booking a show or knowing what the NBA is doing as far as coordinating and whatnot. Really crazy, man. Really crazy. But that is actually all of the news that we had today on May 11th, 2023. And remember, this was episode 53 of Interesting Podcast. It is freaking awesome coming in here and, just being able to talk with you guys about some WWE news. And remember that on May 21st at 2 p.m., Interesting Podcast is going to be interviewing Playboy Zay Perez. And then on May 27th at 2 p.m., Interesting Podcast is going to be interviewing one half of the Hammer Brothers and the DOA Tag Team Champions in Jackhammer. It's going to be freaking awesome. I am so excited to bring these interviews to you guys, and we're just slowly getting back into this. I kind of got off my groove there for a little bit, but it's all good. We got it right back. But I will actually be back later on this week with my co-host Antonio, where we'll start to break